today's class. Today we will be understanding the introductory concept of psychology, the evolution of psychology, and the basic history in the field of psychology. So let's start with what is psychology. Now psychology is basically compared to be a relatively newer discipline. It's considered around 135 years old. Okay. Now what is psychology and how did it evolve? So psychology, the word, is made up of two words, psychos plus logos. Okay. Now the word psychos here means soul and logos means study of. So the most introductory concept in the field of psychology explains psychology as the study of soul. Now slowly and gradually the concept evolved. When we said psychology is the study of soul, it was basically considered as a branch of philosophy. Okay. And slowly and gradually, it separated from philosophy and entered as a newer subject which was later on called as psychology. So under philosophy, when psychology was there, it was considered as a study of soul. So let's see how psychology evolved. So psychology evolved from a study of soul to a study of mind. Okay, where people said that psychology studies your mind, your mental behavior. Then they said it studies just the conscious behavior. Okay, so it was study of consciousness. And finally you have psychology as a study of behavior. Now this study of behavior is considered as the most prevalent definition in the field of psychology. So when we talk about the definition of psychology, we say psychology is the study of behavior and mental processes. Okay, so as a study of behavior and mental processes. Now let's understand the difference between the two. Behavior is something that is overt or obvious, that everyone can see and understand. My expressions, my language, my way of communication, that's all overt and that's my behavior. On the other hand, you have mental processes. So mental processes is something that goes inside your mind and it is covert in nature. That means how I think, what is going in my mind is basically the mental process or the covert behavior. So this was one of the primary definitions of psychology, and later on Morgan, who did a lot in the field of psychology, gave another definition where he said psychology is the study of organismic behavior. What does organismic behavior mean? Behavior of any organism, be it human or any other organism. Okay. So this is how we understand the basics of psychology, how psychology evolved from the branch of philosophy and slowly and gradually traveled its journey from the study of soul to study of mind, consciousness and finally behavior. We can understand the basic definition of psychology, that is the study of behavior and mental processes, where behavior is considered as an overt subject or what is obvious, what everyone can visibly see, while mental process is something that is covert in nature and that is hidden in oneself. Okay. Now let's start with the various developments in the field of psychology. When I say various developments in the field of psychology, I try to particularly explain who were the major contributors in the field of psychology and what was their main ideology behind propagating the science of psychology. So we'll start with the first person, that is William Wundt. So William Wundt was the first person who established a psychological lab in Leipzig, Germany. Okay. His concept was introspection. Introspection basically means self-observation. Okay. That means I am trying to understand myself in greater detail. Okay, I'm trying to see what I'm doing and observe my behavior and my expression. So Wundt first did an experiment that studied time lag. Okay, and that experiment was between the ball hitting. Basically, I'll say if there is a flat platform or something. Okay, the ball would hit that platform, and after how much time you will press the key. Okay, or press the bell. So what I'm trying to understand is hitting of the ball. Okay, and at what time you will press the bell. Okay. So the difference between these two activities would be the time lag, and what Wundt tried to do in his first experiment was to study this time lag. So he basically tried to understand human introspection, or try to understand that human psychology evolved as self-observation. Now there were lot many researchers and psychologists who tried to work out in the field of psychology. One of his students, who was known as Titchener, okay, gave another concept in psychology. He basically tried to get what all Wundt said, but he tried to expand this concept and brought it under the ambit of structuralism. Now, what is structuralism? So, Titchener, who was a student of Wundt, explained the concept of structuralism, and where he said that it's the structure of mind that governs human behavior. Okay, so his focus was not just on introspection but on structure of mind. Okay. While Wundt was based in Leipzig, Germany, Titchener was based in Cornell University, United States. Okay, he started his research in Cornell University, and he said that the main reason why we study psychology is it's the structure of mind. So he tried to borrow everything that was from introspection, but expanded it, saying that we also need to study the structure of mind. So he said that under introspection, if you are trying to give someone an object, you will ask the reason what do you think about that object. So that is what is introspection or self-observation. While under the concept of structuralism, he said you will try to analyze why it is really so. Okay, so you will try to focus more on the structure rather than just understanding how you feel about it. Okay, so Titchener gave the concept of structuralism. So this evolution in the field of psychology, or this journey into the field of psychology, is very, very important, as we see. Now, one of the students of Titchener was Washburn. Okay, and Washburn was the first lady to be awarded a PhD in psychology. So Washburn basically wrote the book, The Animal Mind. So the book was known as The Animal Mind. So Washburn was a student of Titchener. She was the first female to get a PhD in psychology, and she wrote the book which was known as The Animal Mind. Next to Titchener was William James. James belonged to Harvard University, and he gave the concept of functionalism. Now, how did his concept of functionalism evolve? His concept of functionalism was primarily based on the Darwin's concept. So he said that Charles Darwin, under his concept of evolution, focuses on physical traits. Okay, so if I am saying that there are physical traits that are evolving with time, okay, there must be some psychological traits also, or behavioral traits that would evolve with time. Okay. So he said, he basically followed the idea of Darwin, okay, and considered that evolution is not just evolution of physical trait, but it also implies evolution of behavior traits. So he gave the concept of functionalism. Now, one of his students was Whiten, okay, and now she was also a PhD student. She was a female PhD student, but she was not allowed, okay, to be given a PhD degree in psychology just because she was a female. Okay. Later on, she went to Wellesley College, and she was asked that if she wants a PhD, she should apply to Radcliffe College, Radcliffe University, which was a women university or a female university at that time. But later on, she became the first president of APA, the first female president of APA, that is the American Psychological Association. Okay. So we see how Wundt gave the concept of introspection, then came Tishner who talked about structuralism. We have James who talked about functionalism. Then we have the concept of Gestalt theory, which was given by Wertheimer. And what did Gestalt believe basically was the concept of wholeness. So Gestalt focused on the concept of wholeness, and he said that anything should not be studied in individual parts, rather than it should be studied as sum of individual parts. Okay, so that was the Wertheimer's concept, and it was known as the Gestalt theory, which later on became very popular in the field of perception. We'll be talking more about the Gestalt's concept in further classes. Okay, so this is just an introductory class where we are trying to understand the major aspects in the field of psychology. We'll be covering all these things in detail in further sessions. Okay, then came Freud. Freud talked about the concept of psychoanalysis. So he was basically a physiologist, a doctor, and he said that the nervous system of human being have something to do with the mental processes or the unconscious mind that is working there. Okay, and this unconscious mind tries to bring in changes, and these changes are mainly affected by the early life or the early childhood experiences. So his basic concept was, Freud's basic concept was, our life is made up of our early childhood experiences, and that lie hidden somewhere in our unconscious mind. Based on that, he gave the concept of psychoanalysis. Later on, his theory of therapeutic approach of psychotherapy got very popular and got a great boost in the further sessions to come. Okay. The next was Pavlov and Watson. So Pavlov's experiment of classical conditioning we'll be discussing it later, which was the experiment on dog. Okay. Then you have Watson. Watson primarily talked about the concept of behaviorism. Now, what is behaviorism? We have talked about structuralism, which deals with the structure of mind. We have talked about the concept of functionalism, which deals about the various functions of human parts, how we try to understand the things, how we try to reveal the things. So Pavlov and Watson gave the concept of behaviorism, where they talked about understanding of human behavior as a concept. Okay, and then finally you have the humanistic approach. And that humanistic approach was laid forward by Maslow and Rogers. Okay. Maslow and Rogers basically talked about how human beings try to understand the growth potential or influence their growth potentials. Okay. So this was the basic hierarchy in the development of psychology as a subject. So we'll start with introspection. Then you have William Wundt's student who was Tishner, who talked about structuralism. Then there were numerous concepts that came into existence. You have Washburn as the first female PhD in psychology, that's important. She wrote the book The Animal Mind. Then you have William James, who talked about functionalism. He also wrote the book which was known as Principles of Psychology. Okay, so he basically followed his ideas from Charles Darwin, and he said when we talk about physical characteristics in the evolution, we also need to understand the behavior or the functioning characteristics in the field of evolution. Then you have Wertheimer, who gave the Gestalt theory. You have Freud, who talked about basically unconscious mind. You have Watson, who talked about behaviorism and the concept of human behavior. And finally, the humanistic approach that was led forward by Maslow and Rogers. Now, as we see through this, you have people who are from the field of physiology, who are from the field of medical sciences, who are from the field of philosophy. So, basically, what we understand here is psychology is a mix of various subjects, and therefore Morton Hunt, in one of his books called Psychology, Morton Hunt in one of his books called Psychology as Magdalens of Mind. That means in this book he tried to explain that psychology is derived from various branches of study. That's philosophy, philosophy, then you have physiology, you have medical sciences, and then it slowly and gradually evolved as a branch which was basically focusing on human behavior. Okay, so that was the first introductory class in psychology. We'll be covering various perspectives of psychology and applications of psychology in further